you wouldn't really bet against Celtic losing any game at the minute, never mind losing a competition.
One thing I would say, you're right, Scottish Cup draw last night, that could have been a bit kinder, because you've seen what Kilmarnock did to Celtic in the League Cup last season. Granted, Celtic have come on leaps and bounces then, and Kilmarnock have been struggling to get any momentum this year, but that could have been actually kinder to them. But I still don't think it will give any genuine cause for Celtic concern. What I found interesting about that is, Daniel, and we spoke about this previously, Brendan Rodgers keeps these little targets between him and his players, but he hands them out at the start of every season.
Mm-hmm.
I am convinced that at the start of this season, one of his targets for these players was to try and achieve over 100 league points. I actually suspect that one of the targets might be another season, an invincible season, domestically. And, you know, we're speaking 24 hours ahead of Celtic running out at Pittodrie for a test, a real test. But at this minute in time, what we've seen with our own eyes would lend you to believe that as huge and ambitious as that target might be, it might not be beyond this Celtic side. Another undefeated domestic season.
Because the thing, you're looking at this Pittodrie game, and as you say, going with the league table, and that should be Celtic's kind of one of their biggest tests.
But Aberdeen are now just starting to.
You're looking at Aberdeen now. Celtic have been able to. Brendan Rodgers has the luxury of resting over half a team on Saturday to prepare for the Aberdeen game. Whereas Aberdeen are going full pelt at Tynecastle, trying to get a draw, losing their goalkeeper who's injured for having to play the backup goalkeeper tomorrow night. You're now looking at this Pittodrie game thinking, is it really going to be a test for Celtic? I can't see anything other than another convincing Celtic win. I think they'll turn up there fresh, vibrant, players coming back in, looking fit, ready to go. And Aberdeen, as you say, have just begun to toil a wee bit.
And it was always going to happen to Aberdeen. We said that. We said Aberdeen, it's not unrealistic to say they can stay in Celtic's coattails in terms of can they split the Old Firm, can they finish second. What was completely unrealistic was to suspect or to believe that they would be able to match Celtic stride for stride.
Because
so that's not going to happen.
If they've had bad, terrible results, they've got a draw at Easter Road and a draw at Tynecastle.
Yes.
They'd be decent results for a normal
Aberdeen team. And in context of what they should be aiming to achieve this season, which is second place, they are not bad results. Not brilliant, not bad. Yeah. They are having they're finding it difficult now, and that was always going to be the case. And Scott might be right. Celtic, I think Celtic kind of felt as if they wanted to lay down a marker in the semi-final against Aberdeen, and they did that. I think you might find that they're every bit as keen to do the same again, just to say to them, look, sit down, behave, you're not going to come near us. And they might be of a mind to send out another emphatic message at Pittodrie. Wouldn't surprise me.
And I think psychologically as well, I'm sure I mentioned that after the cup tie at Hampden, psychologically what that did to the Aberdeen players, because at that point they're thinking we can take on anybody. Here we're flying, we're rolling on, and then bang. 6.
Yeah.
I think that goes into the minds of Aberdeen players getting into this game tomorrow night. We've been playing really well.
It's scar tissue, isn't it?
We know what this team can do to us. I think put all of that together, it's hard to see anything other than another big win for Celtic tomorrow night. And getting back to the original point, I don't think it is out with the realms of possibility that they could go unbeaten this season. And it's incredible that we're saying that. I think because
so there you go. There's the targets. Break the 100 points. There'll probably be a goals target in there somewhere in terms of how many they want to score, how many they want to make sure they don't lose. 3 domestic trophies will be in there. And
5 for Europe.
And obviously this, making the playoff stages of the Champions League, and then this potential undefeated season domestically. Right now they're all in play, and they're better than all in play. Actually, that they're starting to look not odds on, but certainly achievable.
Chris McGlinchey watching on Facebook raises a good point. He says, Kuhn wasn't a starter due to health issues. He's always been a decent player. It's a huge difference from not being a starter because he was poor. I think that is a good point, to be fair.
Listen, that's a point, but I'm not sure. I know he had problems, obviously. I think it was his teeth and stuff like that when he came in, but I think you're actually underplaying the role Rodgers has played in Kuhn's progression.
Yeah.
I think over the summer he's got a hold of him. I think he's changed parts of his game. You very rarely now see Nicholas Kuhn getting the ball out wide and knocking it back away or coming inside and being negative. Every time he's going at his man. No, 9 times out of 10 he's going at his man, or he's driving infield with a purpose, which is exactly what Rodgers wants for his wide players. So I think the manager's had a massive influence on him over the summer, and you've seen the results of that.
I think there's a bit of both, isn't there? I think it's a fair point that Kuhn had lost a lot of weight. He looked lightweight when he came. Didn't look that confident. We were told he was an absolute flying machine. There wasn't a great deal of sign of that here. But yes, tactically, the improvements in his game, what he's trying to do, his decision making, that's got Brendan's magic dust sprinkled all over it, doesn't it? So that's what he does. Kuhn deserves great praise for his role in it. But I suspect that you're right, Scott, that comes down to a manager who knows how to improve players.